Hi, welcome to my channel. For this week's video's topic, I want to talk about how to elongate your age above the normal average age. Just a disclaimer, before you get too excited, I don't mean it in the literal sense, not physically per se, but mentally as emotion, experience, fun, and knowledge, and how many events you witnessed, and your fulfillments in life, and what impact you leave on your world. Now I know there are many definitions that describe life, and life's meaning varies based upon your insight on life and what you're passionate about, your aspiration, goals, etc. I'll cut to the chase. My idea is very simple. How can you get the most experience of life in the shortest period of time? You can reach this state of mind by staying focused on one matter while ignoring the unnecessary mundane daily chores. Let me elaborate. If you're passionate about one matter or one field that require endless experience and knowledge to excel in, and if you stayed focused on it for a very long time, you reach a point where you become much experienced in that field than an average person who's living an average life. If you base your life upon how much knowledge and experience you own, then in another word, now you become much older than the average normal person, and now you have more mental maturity in that field than the people in your age. Even though technically you both lived similar time periods, but you experienced life more than the others, you accomplished more than the others, you gained knowledge more than the others, you had your fun time more than the others, you grew and matured more than the others, you lived twice as much as the others in the same time you both spent, while they probably was their time lounging around doing some inane daily life activities. When you dedicate your entire schedule to one particular matter, it's only logical to become more knowledgeable of the field than the average person. But the real question here is how much more experience and knowledge can you gain more than the average standard person? What's the difference range in knowledge? Depending on how long the average person would spend time on that particular matter in his daily life, and compare that to how long you spend on it, and you'll have an approximate number of the comparison. You can count that mathematically, and you can easily infer how older can you be from the rest in that particular field. Let me give you an easy example of that, like video games. Let's say the average person spends 1 hour a week on video games. That means 10 minutes a day. And let's say you spend all your time on video games. That means, aside from your sleeping time, your 3 meals time, you taking bath and cleaning and preening, you get an approximate number of 12 hours a day of gaming. So by comparing the standard 10 minutes to your 12 hours of gaming a day, you'll know how much you experienced and played games more than the average person. Which means you played more video games. You played all the series, all the season pass, all the bonus games, while the average person barely finished the main story of the game because he only spent 10 minutes of his time, remember? So in other words, you lived longer, you enjoyed more time in video games. But fun isn't as important as other tangible things that you can accomplish in your life, that you can grind on your skills every day, like an artist or illustrator. Or even more important, the professions that you can increase your knowledge in within every day. Let's say like a cook, for example. If you dedicate your time learning new recipes all the day, you'll reach enough knowledge and creativity to up your own recipe that may revolutionize the world of cookery and cuisines. Or as a scientist, for example, Thomas Edison, the great inventor of the light bulb, he tried and failed 1,000 times before he could make his first light bulb. When you focus on one particular problem, it's only a matter of time till you find the solution. But our subject for today is long life. And when your time is spent on one field, you'll have the mental abilities of someone who lived as 10 times as your age. Imagine when you dedicate your time learning one particular thing, That will give you the same knowledge of a person who lived for millennia trying to solve multiple things at once. So the assumed person most of his time spent on many other things, and if you added the time he spent on one particular field as a continuous period, it would be much less than your concentrated time you had in the same field, and you have more a probability to excel in the same field than the assumed person with 1,000 years old. I'm not saying it only depends on time and dedication. Of course, there are other elements like originality and creativity and other factors, but still doesn't refute my theory, because the comparison I made, given that they both have similar abilities, it's only logical to presume that you'll have the upper hand in coming up with a solution to a certain problem, and you're more knowledgeable in that area. Well, there you go. You can live as much as you want without being worried the time will run out. But there are some disadvantages in that lifestyle, of course. In addition of that, it's not easy to achieve with our chaotic life and daily life obstacles. This could happen, and it's more possible in a utopian world where money is not necessary for sustainability, or you're fully secured financially and you have a stable life. And it's not natural for a human to ignore other aspects, even though when you fully cover the full aspects, because a human been on this state for thousands of years, and he can't just change all of a sudden to live a different lifestyle. And you'll end up with some drug life where you do the same thing over and over again. What I'm trying to say is, it's going to be a struggling experience. It's not going to be achieved easily. The disadvantage, obviously, is when you're focused on one area of your life, you ignore the rest, while seeing the other people having their balanced time of leisure, learning, working, self-care, etc. And that will make you feel not as alive as the others. But you won't feel this way if you're really passionate about the thing you're doing. So you have to be certain that what you sacrifice your time for is totally worth it. Only by then you'll be a truly happy person. So as a summary, you can live for the age of 300, but that would be figuratively, of course. But it's logically true and completely doable. By focusing and dedicating your time on one simple chore, you'll have more experience, and that could reach a value equal to a person who lived 300 years or more. What I'm trying to say is, and take it as an affirmation to yourself, the age doesn't matter, but how much of your life you lived chasing your dreams is what really matters. Because you're not going to excel in something without giving it your fully uninterrupted attention, and anything else will be just an obstacle, consuming the important time that you could spend on your dream or your goal. Alright guys, that was me rambling for 5 minutes about long life and how to have the life experience of 300 years person. I like to talk about aging and how can we prevent that and have a long life. And it's very possible with the future technology and medicine. And maybe one day we can crack the human genome and people can live much longer, or even forever, who knows. It's theoretically possible. Sometimes I wish I were born maybe 1,000 years from now, because by then humanity would have figured it all out and all people are practically mortals. But that's just an impossible dream that won't happen. If you found this subject interesting and you want me to talk more about life and aging, let me know in the comment section. And if you have any question or any scientific information you may want to share with me, tell me about it. I love to chat. And if you made it this far, why not consider subscribing and supporting my new channel? That would really help me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next week with another new video. Bye!